Hello guys, this is Sharon here from 24/7 Techie, and in this video we are going to compare the OnePlus 2 with the Nexus 5X. So first of all, we'll get started with the dimensions of the phone. So the OnePlus 2 and the Nexus 5X are very different in the thickness of the phones. So the Nexus 5X is only 7.9 mm thick, whereas the OnePlus 2 is 8.9 mm thick. And it weighs also a lot, so 175 grams at least, but for the Nexus 5X it's about 136 grams. And there's also difference between the connectivity. So the OnePlus 2 have dual 4G SIM card slots, whereas the Nexus 5X only has single 4G SIM card slot. So in both the phones the screens are also different. So the Nexus 5X has a 5.2 inch Full HD screen, whereas the OnePlus 2 has an 5.5 inch Full HD screen. On the protection point of view, the Nexus 5X having Gorilla Glass 3, whereas the OnePlus 2 has Gorilla Glass 4. So now we'll come into the memory point of view. So the Nexus 5X costs about 25,000 for the 16 gigs model, and the OnePlus 2 costs 25,000 for the 64 gigs model. But we can see that only 10.67 gigs are available out of the box. 6.34 are already used, and that's just the backup and everything. So 16 gigs are really not enough. And if you want to buy the 32 gigs model of the Nexus 5X, you need to spend about 5,000 more. It's about 30,000 rupees, whereas the OnePlus 2 has only one model, which comes with 64 gigs of internal storage. So a lot of difference in the RAM as well. So the OnePlus 2 has 4 gigs of RAM, whereas the Nexus 5X has only 2 gigs of RAM. Yes, there is no issues with the Nexus 5X multitasking or anything, but we do still have only 2 gigs of RAM over here, whereas the 4 gigs RAM or for the same price point is available. And in the camera point of view, both the phones are pretty much similar. So as we can see in the resolution point of view, both the phones are very similar. And I've noticed that the image quality on both the phones are same for the front camera and the back camera as well. So it's sort of a draw in the camera point of view. But the major difference comes in the Android version. So the OnePlus 2 is running on Android 5.1.1 out of the box, whereas the Nexus is running on Android Marshmallow. So a lot of difference comes in the software version of these two phones. So the Nexus 5X is running on the Android Marshmallow and will be getting all the updates in the future as well, as it's a Nexus device. But the OnePlus 2 is still running on the Android Lollipop 5.1.1, and it is scheduled to have the Marshmallow update in the Q1 of 2016. So we don't have the Marshmallow till now, but hopefully we'll get it soon. OnePlus has included a couple of features that give competition to Android Marshmallow as well. First of all, the USB Type-C. Second of all, the fingerprint sensor. Third of all, the app permissions. So a lot of things have been included, and another thing that has been included in this phone and not included in the Android Marshmallow is the dark mode and the accent color. Switch off the dark mode like this, and we can switch on the dark mode like this, and it changes everything in the UI. And we can even change the accent color like this. No other phone in the Android circuit has it yet, except for the OnePlus X as well. So the notification toggle, so like this we can toggle the notification. So this will bring all notification, priority notification, and do not disturb. For this video I have kept it to do not disturb, so no one interrupts in between. So in the performance point of view, the Nexus 5X is running on Snapdragon 808 clocked at 1.8 GHz, whereas OnePlus 2 is running on Snapdragon 810 clocked at 1.8 GHz. And both the phones perform really very well. No issues in the performance, and you can choose either one if you're looking for a good performer. But in the battery point of view, the Nexus 5X lags behind with the 2700 mAh battery compared to the 3300 mAh battery on the OnePlus 2. That is a very big difference, and it shows that we cannot get more than 3 hours of screen on time on the Nexus 5X, but I can easily get 4.5 hours of screen on time on my OnePlus 2. And so I am getting a very good battery life on my OnePlus 2, and I'm pretty happy with it. So in the battery point of view, OnePlus 2 does win. Things that 5X wins is the quick charge. So OnePlus 2 doesn't support any type of quick charge, and it takes about 2 hours to charge, but the Nexus 5X can charge pretty quickly. The NFC as well, so the OnePlus skipped on the NFC sensor, but a lot of customization is available for the OnePlus 2. As you can see, I am using a Kevlar back for the OnePlus 2, and a lot of customization is available. But for the Nexus 5X, nothing, not at all will be available. So the real problem is that Nexus 5X 32GB model is available for 5000 rupees extra compared to the OnePlus 2, and which is a very big difference. So double the storage, double the RAM, and a lot of stuff, and the premiumness on this device is a lot more compared to the one Nexus 5X. So Nexus 5X has all plastic polycarbonate body, whereas it's a metal body on the OnePlus 2 with the back can be changeable. And as we can see the backs of the phone, they have gone with a little bit of different approach. So the fingerprint sensor is at the back of the phone on the Nexus, whereas on the OnePlus 2 it's in the front. And in the camera modules, everything pretty much is same. So these both are the laser autofocus with the dual LED flash and the camera sensors. So a lot of things are same on this phone and a lot of things are not. So all in all, both the phones are very good competition. If you're looking for a more stable ROM and without any fuss, go for the Nexus 5X. If you're not really worried about the storage, and you can stay with the 16 gigs, as both the phones doesn't support any micro SD card. If you're open to more customization and a little bit of unstable software, because when we compare the software to the Nexus 5X, it is a little bit unstable as well, and it is still working on the Lollipop compared to the Marshmallow. If you're okay with that, then the OnePlus 2 is actually pretty good, and now it's also available without any invites, so you can just go ahead and buy it on Amazon. If I am given a personal choice, I will be choosing my OnePlus 2 as my daily driver, and it is actually my daily driver. So this is actually my daily driver compared to the Nexus 5X, which I will be returning very soon. So thank you guys for watching this video. This was Sharon here from 24/7 Techie, showing you guys the Nexus 5X versus the OnePlus 2. Please do subscribe to our channel because we really need subscribers, and you can help us a lot through that red subscription button. And I really wish to see you in my next video. Till then, see ya.